Well, hey guys, welcome back to the Savvy Shoppers. My name is Sarah, and today I am going to be doing a review on some 8-inch skillets. Now you might be asking yourself, why do I care about this? Because you obviously clicked on this video for a reason, and I'm here to tell you that I own a lot of pans in varying price ranges, in varying sizes, made out of different materials. I have some stainless pans, some carbon steel pans, I have cast iron, but my most used pans in my kitchen in multiple times a day rotation are my non-stick 8-inch skillets. And that's why I wanted to do this particular video, because I have thoughts. I'm going to be comparing two different brands. I have had these pans for 6 months, so it's given me quite a good deal of time to be able to do a comparison between these two brands of skillets. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be talking about two different brands. The first one is the Tramontina. Both of these were purchased on Amazon, and I will have links below for each of them. They do, of course, vary in cost from time to time, but I will tell you what the latest price is in my notes. I have my notes down here because I did take notes on each pan, and then we will also discuss some of my own opinionated thoughts because I do have thoughts. So this is the 8-inch Tramontina nonstick skillet. And I am going to be comparing it to the Tfal nonstick skillet, also in the 8-inch size. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Tfal, because it is first on my list. Now this is the second set of this particular skillet that I have purchased. So I actually have a little bit more experience with this particular brand and this particular skillet. I replaced my last set of skillets after 3 years of use. They probably still could have continued to go on a little bit further, but with nonstick skillets, a lot of times you do end up getting wear on the nonstick finish, and so I like to change mine out after a number of years just to make sure that I'm not getting any of that finish inside our food. That might not bother some people, but I don't prefer to have that. And no matter how well you treat your pans, eventually they do break down in the non-stick capacity, at least the ones that I have personally ever owned. But I appreciate the non-stick of a pan, and so I do continue to purchase them. So this particular pan, some of the specifics and claims that Tfal has is that it is a titanium non-stick interior, an aluminum exterior. Mine, of course, has been used for the last 6 months, so it's not perfectly, unblemished at this point. It has a thermospot technology to tell you when the pan is hot. I didn't know this before I looked it up because I never paid attention, but it does have that. It is also dishwasher and oven safe to 400 degrees. Now, I don't ever personally put my nonstick pans in the dishwasher, but that is just how I roll. If you want to dishwash yours, it is theoretically safe in the dishwasher. I just like to hand wash my pans just because I am concerned about the quickening of the breakdown of the nonstick finish. So this is made in China. If the area of manufacture matters to you, this one is made in China. It is all cooktop compatible. So if you have a gas range or if you have a glass surface, some of your other surfaces, things like cast iron and the like can't be used on certain cooktop surfaces, but this is all cooktop surfaces compatible. So the cost for this one is $23.99 for 2 skillets. So you get 2 skillets for about $24. So I use my skillets every day, multiple times a day. I have teenage daughters, and they also cook a lot of their own foods, especially breakfasts and lunches. And so my 8-inch skillets get used multiple times a day, every single day. So considering the amount of use that these skillets receive, they do hold up pretty well, and getting 3 years out of them is quite extraordinary. What I like about this particular pan is I like the handle shape. Nothing comes off this. You can tighten it with the screw here if it becomes loose, but the handle, it doesn't have silicone removable or anything like that. There's nothing fancy about this pan, but it does clean up very well. Now on the Tfal, there are no visible rivets. On the pan that we're going to discuss in a few minutes, you can see that it has visible rivets, and I don't prefer that in a pan. That is one of the cons that we will talk about with the other pan. It has a lot of pros, but that is not one of those for me, simply because the food gets caught on these little rivets. Especially for my children and myself, making daily morning breakfasts consist of a lot of eggs and cheese and things of that nature, which tends to stick to a rivet such as this. And so it can be difficult to clean this in that capacity. And so that is one of the drawbacks of this pan that I do not prefer. The Tfal does not have that. I find the cooking is very even. It sits on my burner nicely. I have never personally used this in the oven in any capacity, so I cannot say how the performance is in that regard. But I do really like this skillet, and as I said, I've repurchased this, so I've been using this brand of skillet for over 3 years, probably 4 years now. And that is why I bought another set before I bought the Tramontina. So I do recommend this one if it is something that you're interested in. I do recommend it, and of course, the close to $12 per skillet is a very good price range. So moving on to the Tramontina. This is also on Amazon, and that's where I purchased it. Now, it is $24 for a singular pan, so it is double the price, or you get only one instead of two for the $24 cost, however you want to look at it. Now, this particular one is made in Brazil. As I said before, where the pan's origins are matter to you. This one is made in Brazil. So it is designed for restaurant kitchens, they say. These are their claims. It has high performance reinforced aluminum, non-stick, all stovetop safe also, as the Tfal was, oven to 400 degrees, dishwasher safe. This one had the New York Times recommendation, and that is why I originally purchased this pan, is because it was rated very highly by the New York Times as a recommended economical pan versus, of course, you can buy nonstick pans in the hundreds, if that is, I know Hex-Clad is very popular right now. That is Gordon Ramsay's brand, and his are like $130 for a pan this size. I have no opinion on that because I don't own that pan, but this is considered a value pan that has a high recommendation by the New York Times. As far as Amazon reviews go, this one has about 4.6 stars out of 19,000 reviews versus the Tfal, which has 4.9 stars with about 5,000. So more people have purchased this and reviewed it than the Tfal. But the reviews are comparable in that they're close to 5 stars for both of them. So as I said, this is $24 for one. Some of the things that I do like about it: the non-stick is very nice. It's very smooth. It doesn't have a ready spot on here that tells you when it's reached temperature. I didn't know that's what the Tfal had anyway, so that avenue didn't really bother me. It does clean up well. This one has a removable silicone handle, so this red part would come off if you don't prefer to use the silicone. I have just always left it on because I like it, and it does have some gripping aid here on the bottom, so it can help you grip the pan. I have the tendency of running into my pans when I'm cooking and kind of turning them, so it is nice to have this, as a plastic component. As I mentioned before when I was speaking about the Tfal pan, I don't prefer the way that this is riveted on the inside. Obviously, it provides a strength. You can't tighten this like you can the Tfal if it were to get loose. I can't imagine it would come loose because it's got 3 rivets. But as I said before, I don't prefer having them exposed here on the inside simply because food will then get, on here and harden. And because this is a non-stick surface and I try and only use abrasives that work for non-stick, like my brushes and my microfibers and things like that, it can be difficult to get the cooked on egg and cheese or whatever else you're going to use in this skillet off. But that's just my personal opinion. I do like this pan, but I would not repurchase this specific pan over the Tfal just because of the cost difference. I tend to be a very frugal individual, and I have not found that the performance of either is so vastly different that I feel that the cost difference would be of value for me personally. as I said before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this pan. If you prefer having the silicone handle and also having it be made in a country of your choice, then those might be things that you would consider. So that is my review of these two pans. As I said before, I use and enjoy both of them. These are already 6 months old, and you can see that they're still in quite good condition as far as the non-stick and also the back. If you would like to check them out, it will be linked below, and I hope that you will come back and visit with us for another review. And until next time, stay warm and be safe.